Yes, my dear friend, in this video we will learn more about the serial class. As you know, in our previous lesson we defined two different parameters when using our serial class. So here, we can define their parameters by calling the variable name of these two different parameters. So now let's make an example and explain it for better understanding. For this, let's move to our project folder and let's create a new Python file here. Let the Python file name be, for example, serial2.py, and let's press enter. And also, as you know, if we want to use our serial class in our Python file, let's import serial module here and let's move to a new line. And for example, let's create a new object here and let the name be, for example, Arduino, and put an equal sign, and let's call our serial class here. For this, first let's call our module name, which is serial, and put a dot, and let's call serial class now. And also open and close parentheses. We don't enter the parameters in these parentheses, that's why let's move to a new line. If you want to set the port which Arduino board is connected, we should use port parameter here. For this, first let's call our object name, which is Arduino, and put a dot, and let's call port here and put an equal sign, and let's create double quotes, and let's define the port name of Arduino board. So my Arduino port name is conf5, that's why I will enter conf5 here, and let's move to a new line. And also in our previous lesson we entered two different parameters in serial class. So our second parameter is representing serial communication speed, and if you want to set this parameter, we should use baud rate parameter in Arduino object. So let's call here first Arduino object and put a dot, and let's call baud rate and put an equal sign, and let's set it as, for example, 9600, and we are done. When we examined our code, we created an object called Arduino and defined our serial class. The name of the first parameter in serial class is defined as port. For this reason, we called our object and reached our port variable in our class and set its value to conf5. The name of the second parameter in our serial class is defined as baud rate, which is serial communication speed. Therefore, to set our speed, we called our object and set the baud rate parameter in our class to 9600. Do you want us to prove it? Let's prove it. What we need to do for this is very simple. Let's output our object with our print function. So for this, let's call print function here, and let's print our Arduino object, and let's run our code. And you see, when we get the output, we will see an output like this. So here is the result. So when we look at the output, we will see open parameter is equal to false. That's why we can't use the Arduino board which is connected with conf5 using Python programming language. So what should we do to solve this problem? For this, let's move to a new line and let's call our Arduino object again. And in this new line, we should learn a new method here. The name of this method is open method. So let's put a dot and let's call open method here, and also open and close parentheses. And also let's delete the print function in the sixth line, and let's move to a new line and let's paste it here. So we are done. So if we run our code like this again, and you see we got the output open parameter as true. So here is the result. Of course, the point we need to pay attention to here is that our code works well for the time being. When we create our projects in the future, we will both learn our model better and comprehend the information in the object. Now that we know about our method and our class, so now let's develop our first project and learn about our class better throughout projects. Alright my dear friends, so now let's move on to our other lessons.